but I would, if the Feds are going to do something, they're probably going to stay away until they want.
Another thing is I wanted to mention, I'm so excited about the community meeting that was held last night. I wasn't there. I heard it was tremendous. With the community of safety that's putting together.
The local.
If things were going to be pursued, then they would be the ones that were at the head of that table.
It is very simple.
To make sure any friends on there for me to be here this evening.
It only takes one unstable person to show up
and buffer this situation and get it drawn down until we can get some politicians behind this, some constitutional judges, some constitutional
guys,
sheriffs.
we're live streaming right now if you guys don't mind.
ABC News, will you mind talking to me for a second while you're here?
You think I'm afraid of anything? I'm not afraid of anything. What was done was wrong. We invaded a community without permission. You have a commander out here who's not a Harney County resident. We're here to hand this over to the citizens, not the militia.
For all the rumors that are going to come here, we'll make sure they don't.
Safety that's putting together, getting ready to take over operations. Remember, we are here to lead, but we're here to pass the baton safely to the citizens of Harney County.
The standoff in an Oregon wildlife refuge is now in its 7th day. It's a holdout that includes people from all over the country.
Fox 13's Zach Whitney joined us live in studio with what some of those Utahns hope to add to the situation up there. Zach.
Yeah, you know, some of them are there to support the Bundy family and the Hammonds in their takeover of the wildlife refuge, but others hope to defuse the situation. But both sides say they hope the confrontation comes to a peaceful end.
We spent basically a half-day meeting with the players involved. So in other words, the Bundys.
Utah Attorney Todd McFarland says the situation at the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge is tense. He's part of a group of Utah attorneys hoping to de-escalate it.
And their biggest concern was what they felt like were the distortions and mischaracterization of what was going on up here.
The standoff at the wildlife refuge started last week when a small group broke into the refuge headquarters and said they weren't going to leave until the federal government agreed to give up control of the land.
We basically came out here not to protest or stomp our feet and cry how we were being abused. We came out here to make a difference.
Ammon Bundy posted this video to social media Saturday afternoon saying they're gaining support both locally and regionally. John Pratt drove from southern Utah to join the cause.
So we drove the 10 or 12 hours that it takes to get here, and we came in, welcomed in.
McFarland says the big message out of Oregon is that it's not an armed standoff with the feds, but more of an occupation on federal lands.
That's not what I observed. I didn't observe any conflict. I didn't observe any standoff. It's a very open atmosphere out there at the Malheur Wildlife Refuge.
McFarland says this really is just one specific incident of public lands occupation that the Bundys have gotten involved in. A lot of the Utah support for the cause comes from the 2014 standoff between the Bundys and the Bureau of Land Management in Nevada. The family has become advocates for land rights and have gained hundreds of supporters. Reporting live in studio, Zach Whitney, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Zach, did McFarland give us any idea of when this situation might come to a close? He did have a chance to talk to the Bundys.
Yeah, he did talk to them at length, and he said that that was part of the talks that he had with the governing body out there in Oregon. He said they are working on an exit strategy right now. No specific timeline at this point, but the longer it goes on, the more support they're getting.
Interesting stuff. Zach, thank you.
The question was, what is our objective, and why are we here? And maybe I could just use a parable of the Good Shepherd. You know, in the parable of the Good Shepherd left the 99 and went out to rescue the one. We are here because there is a strong coalition, but a small coalition of ranchers that have asked for our help. This doesn't get out to the media, but they usually come to us at night, and now they're getting brave enough to come during the day. But for the first several days at night, we spent all the nights sitting and talking to these ranchers coming to hear us, to express their concerns. And what has been is the most common theme is that if we stand up, then we'll have reprisals against us and our ranch like the Hammonds are getting against their ranch. And the concern is if we stand up and try to exert, you know, some independence and some freedom upon our own ranches, and will you guys leave us? Will you abandon us? If we stand up and then when things get really hard, will you run away, and then will we lose our ranchers like the rest of the ranchers that have lost theirs? So real concerns is their livelihood, it's their heritage. And so there's a fear because of what has happened over the decades and what has happened just now with the Hammond family thrown back in prison. And so back to the parable of the one. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a republic wherein the rights of the individual are protected against the tyranny of the majority. A democracy, the simplest definition of democracy, is two wolves and a lamb sitting down trying to decide what is for dinner. And so this coalition of ranchers from this community are like that sheep, and you have the wolves wanting to control that sheep. And as long as there is just one rancher left here saying, please help me, Mr. Finicum, I will stand, but please help me hold on my ranch, help me to be a free man on my ranch, help me to be able to recognize my county as the proper form of government, the proper government I should be accountable to, and my state, but please free me from the overlord and the oppression of the federal power. And so as long as, for me, LaVoy Finicum, as long as there is one rancher saying, LaVoy, don't go, I'll stand beside him. As soon as there's not one rancher that wants me to be here, then I must go, because then if I was to stay, I would be like the federal government. I am here for your good. I am going to help you whether you like it or not. And that is not what we're here for. They have asked for our help, if that's not what's being portrayed. But I have sat down and talked to them. I've seen our conference room filled with them. They have organized, they have voted, they have created an organization on their own. You know, my goal after that is I want to be home as soon as possible, but I will not leave, you know, until the job is done. And the job is done is when they're free, that when the county is recognized in its proper role and proper place, and when the federal government in this place in Harney County returns back to the confines of the law, that they are not to be bringing their forces and their control down to the state and county levels and entwining themselves into every aspect of our lives. The things of the state or the federal government belong to the federal government. See, a lot of times people try to portray me as I want to overthrow the government. I'm a radical. But no, I believe in government. We need government. I believe in the federal government. We need the federal government. Well, what do we need it for? Well, we need it to protect our borders, don't we? We need it to defend our nation from other nations that may become aggressive. We got to have that federal government. And then we need them to make sure that commerce stays regular between the states. Not regulate every aspect of commerce. Okay, let's keep that straight. And then just a few other narrowly defined responsibilities as outlined in the Supreme Law of the land. We need that. But we need the federal government to quit being lawless. They need to return to the confines of the law which we the people placed upon them. And the states, they need to be free without the oppression of the federal government, threat of the federal government, to deal with the things of the state level. And the counties need to be free to deal with the things at the county level, okay? Now, for example, there's no way I can pick up the phone and get hold of John McCain and sit down and talk with him. He's my state senator from Arizona. I can't get hold of Jeff Flake. You know, you can get online and they'll give you platitudes that we'll pass this along. But I can pick up the phone, and I have done, and get hold of my county supervisor, county commissioner. He'll talk with me. I can have face-to-face, have done. I can pick up the phone, talk to my county sheriff, you know, and I can sit down and talk to him face-to-face, and have done. But I cannot sit down and pick up the phone, get a hold of Miss Loretta Lynch, and she is not going to give me time to sit down and talk to her. So that is not a representative form of government, you know. And so we're here, basically, I don't want to get too long-winded, We're here to help the ranchers that have asked for our help. And at the moment that there's no longer one rancher that says, we don't want you here, I'm gone. But what we're hoping, or what is happening, is these ranchers are saying, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Help us to get this down, and then we will take it over, and we will do it. And at that moment, we go, whew, thank you, there's the baton, and we are gone. But we promise you, Harney County, you ranchers and you loggers and you farmers and you citizens that want to be free from the federal overlord, that at any moment, once that baton is passed, that if the federal government once again tries to re-exert their force over your ranch or over your water rights, you need to deal at the county level with that. We shall return to stand between you and them. So we will leave, but with the explicit understanding, we will not abandon you if they come back to again to re-exert control over you. And so it's about the one, but it's a whole lot more than one here. There's a lot here. And so I hope that kind of clarifies it.
You want to stop that one, Steve? Beautiful, LaVoy. Really good. We need to get ready to get that up on YouTube.
Oh.
People that have been remotely trying to analyze everything that's going on the ground here, okay? And I'm going to say that, if not intentionally, okay? And then they're regurgitating it, helping the establishment that's trying to bust this thing apart. This is what I've known and trusted. I've actually called me out saying that it was very inappropriate for me to call for me. Government that wants to come in here. We've already known that the federal government would love to be able to come in here and kill these guys on the other side of the fence. Now, if we have 100,000 people as a buffer between the federal government and the guys that are inside, then we can work through. Go ahead, you're on speaker.
With that, I want to add the 3%ers and the PPN have already changed their position. I already knew that they would. It was already in the talks. They just had to organize and plan appropriately and responsibly for their people. It's a huge organization. Everybody that's been talking about that anymore because they're not doing anything. They were planning the whole time. I was always in the know about that, but I wasn't going to report their OPSEC. I'm not that kind of reporter. I protect this movement. I am not the type that's going to spill the beans on something that would ruin everything. They were being responsible, and now they're there.
Right.
You guys, they're there. They just came in, and like dozens yesterday. How many people came in last night that you took care of and bought a room for last night?
That's right. There's quite a few of them, and there's more coming in multiple phases. We've got a lot of patriots coming into town. It's the most important thing that we can do right now. We have safety and security issues that unfortunately the Sheriff's Department's not even attending to. We need good patriots. When that breaks down, when the Sheriff's Department won't even respond to what happened with Louis the Prepper the other night. We had a physical assault taking place at the gate that I personally witnessed. So those changes are going to be made. It's going to happen tonight. Brandon Curtis will be on the ground. Idaho 3%ers is going to lead this effort to have all the patriots maintain a neutral position for protection, security, and safety of everyone, including the demonstrators, the general public, as well as law enforcement as well. So we are now on the ground. Yeah, we're going to go there. Absolutely. Hey, hold on.
This is helping the people, the innocent victims that are victims of tyrannical government, corrupt tactics that have been used against them, and we need to protect these people from that. Now, everybody's talking about part of the community that doesn't want us there, and part of the community does. Yes, there are people that don't want us there. I can tell you for right now, most of those people are friends with very political correct types. They're government workers and employees of the BLM.
My daughter's running around
the large portion,
with the other kids.
The people that have been oppressed, the people that are being under attack, and they're telling their stories. Get online and search for their stories. Peace and
I feel safe
has been
if I did.
featuring each individual story as they come to him. They are under attack. They need us and they want us.
Here than I do out there.
The safer their voices and the louder their voices. We are the microphone for that voice. So
That's right.
There's a protection barrier going on, and if you are providing them, by being there, you are providing them safety to speak for themselves.
Yeah.
They needed us.
Yep.
They needed us. They wouldn't even be, nothing would be even, they wouldn't have gone on the Congress floor to talk about these issues at hand if
That's
it
right.
didn't happen.
That's right. Yeah, I hope even Congressman Walden is following. I mean, I've been hearing, actually, LaVoy Finicum's family came to me and thanked us, okay? I say us, our stream. I mean, I talked to you earlier. This stream, the independent media, okay, and having this stream through us has been such a vital conduit of supplying the public with information. The family of LaVoy Finicum came to me and said that this was literally the only way that they knew that their father was safe. Okay, this is how vital our work is, and I need to tell you guys, I haven't really been pushing too hard. We've literally shelled out thousands of dollars to make sure that we can bring the truth to you guys from our transportation, our fuel costs, our lodging, and also on top of that, we're also helping some of the other guys that have been coming into the hotel. We need your support. Go to, and this is why we need your support. Our message is not brought to you by Viagra, okay? The mainstream media has the luxury of having millions and millions of dollars support their message, and of course they can only tell you a portion of the truth because by our viewers. I want you to go to thepizzaandchillishow.com/donate, make a contribution, and let's grow this thing. Let's keep it going. It's literally costing me $200 a day just for streaming alone, $200 a day for streaming. It's really, really important that we get your support. Now, I want to thank each and every supporter that's already contributed. Thank you so much. You've kept us. Please go to thepizzaandchillishow.com/donate. Our PayPal account is peter@petersantilli.com. And now is the time. And you guys, this isn't just a quote-unquote fundraising. This is where we, the people, come together and say, you know what? This is our independent media outlet. We, the people, will support this thing, and we'll keep the truth flowing, right?
That's right.
That's right.
And I want to confirm on the ground when I was there, and you were there days prior, and I saw the evidence of your contribution to that community days prior and to those coming into town, and how you welcome every single one. You act like the host. You know, you're not just some independent reporter trying to get the truth out, which is, by the way, a big deal, but you've been hosting people.
All right. I got it. Through blizzards, and they were able to get here this morning, and this is what this is about: undue pressure. And having said, turn the time over to my good friend Ammon. He's going to speak just a little bit, and then he's going to introduce just two people who will say a few words, and then at the end, Ammon will take questions. Thank you.
Excuse me, before we get into any of that, and have worked to communicate what we are doing here, which is many of you, and also those who have stood up and understood what's really going on here. I would like to thank the Pacific Patriots Network, PPN, for their stalwartness in making sure that we're protected from without. For the Oregon Constitutional Guard, for the Oregon 3%ers, for the Idaho 3%ers. We thank you for your diligent actions in making sure that we are. I would like to answer the question of why we are here. And it is very simple. It is when we see our neighbor abused, we have a choice to ignore or to not get involved or to love them enough to stand in their defense, to stand for them in the way that you know. And that is what has happened here. We saw a neighbor that was being abused, that we understood what was happening to them was not right. And we felt in our hearts that we were to act. We were to try to get educated and try to assist them in whatever manner we could. And when we came over to do that, we saw even greater abuses than we even originally understood. And we also began to see that what happened to them is also happening to other members of the community and of the county surrounding. That what is happening to them is only a symptom of a greater problem. And in an effort to bring that problem to light, in an effort to protect and try to make right many of the wrongs that are happening, we acted. And we are not in the least bit ashamed of the actions that we have taken. We understand them to be correct. We understand them to be lawful, and we understand them to be necessary after we have exhausted all prudent measures. And what are we to do when the last line of defense, the sheriff, has ignored all petitions? Are the people to allow it to happen anyway? He did yesterday. We met, and he said gracefully that he would give us free passage out of the county and free passage out of the state if we would leave. And I can only say that this to him: we will take that offer, but not yet.
They're not all alone.
How can they get away with what they do?
Most people are like, maybe it has nothing to do with justice. In fact, it's all about the judicial.
Okay,
No. You're giving them power.
Yeah. Is that your drone?
And a lawyer doesn't want to do it.
And we will go out of this state and out of this county as free men.
In the county for protection. These men stand there and say, "Sir, the safety committee can do an emergency." So you can just put a band. I had a round go through a magazine, and a lot of us here have been and we have a constitutional guarantee in this nation.
I do have respect for him. I have respect for his position, and I hope that he will make the right decision and stand for the people of Harney County in defense of them as he took an oath to do.
I think so. Thanks.
Many of you have asked, how long will this go? And we say to you, not a minute too early. Until the people can stand on their own and begin to fight this fight without the fear and intimidation, without the chains that are upon them. Until they can do that, we will be here for them. In answer to the sheriff in our conversations, I first want to say that I have a lot of empathy for the sheriff. He's not in an easy position. He is being pushed from above, from those who are trying to suppress this. He is being highly influenced by them, and then he also has a division in his community. Those that understand and want things to be changed, those that understand why we did what we did, and those who may not fully understand that. So he is in a difficult position. He did yesterday, we met, and he said gracefully that he would give us free passage out of the county and free passage out of the state if we would leave. And I can only say that this to him: we will take that offer, but not yet.
To learn anything from it.
How practical? Do you have a specific list of demands that need to be met before you do choose to go home?
No, it'll be simply when the people are ready to stand for themselves, which they are doing now. There will be no need for us to be here, and we will go home.
You just said that they...
Evan.
Let me offer an opposing point of view. My name is Barrett Kaiser. I work for a public lands advocacy organization out of Colorado. This isn't about loving your neighbor. This is about furthering a right-wing extremist agenda. We all want a peaceful resolution.
Well, I don't care about him.
Of course. What has exactly happened since the Bundys pulled this stunt last time at their ranch? Absolutely nothing. To add to that, they owe me and you and you and you $1 million in taxpayer money.
Tell me, do you work for the Obama administration, sir?
Oh, no, they shouldn't just go home. They should go to jail. You shouldn't be allowed to exploit a ranching family, hijack an entire community. Let me express my rights. Let me express my rights.
For exercising their rights as
Who's going to
American
charge
citizen?
the government for burning out ranches?
we have your name, please?
Who's going to stand up for the ranch?
How about
You
your
shouldn't
name?
be able to steal a refuge.
Can I have your name?
Threaten violence, all in a self-aggrandizing perversion of what you think the Constitution actually means.
Special Forces medic who is responsible for the evac.
Some are called Jade Helm 15. While the military says it's just training soldiers for the realities of war, critics say the Army is preparing for modern-day martial law.
We have medics. Each Special Forces detachment has...
This isn't about loving your neighbor. This is about furthering extremist agenda.
Special Forces medics that are trained to a very high trauma level that will be with each element. We will also have a support element that will have a senior non-commissioned officer.
Yeah, but I would say that if the feds are going to do something, they're probably going to have him stay away until they want the locals to come in and cover the backside. You know, away from the federal perimeter and then outside. That was the Texas Ranger, State Police, and the Clinton County Sheriff's Department for the exterior perimeter. So you got to go from a perimeter where you got the feds.
Clear marking of the participants. That for us, that's one of the big things. We make sure that all of our guys have some type of marking that they'll all be wearing an armband with a marking that identifies them as part of the exercise. And if we have role players, for example, a landowner or a business owner who is participating in the exercise, we'll ensure that they have marking as well, that they're part of the exercise.
Yeah. What was your rank in service?
Me?
I was
E-18 when I got out.
E8?
E-18. I'm a U.S. Navy SEAL.
Right.
Did 2 tours, 8 years total. Did you get past the perimeter?
Right on.
Or was there no perimeter by the time you came in?
I'm glad you're here.
I was there earlier.
I got some things to handle. Let's get that gate shut, and then...
I've got 13 of my boys coming.
Right. Did they show you the path and ground? No.
How'd you get past the perimeter? I walked the truck. The truck didn't. We went out and got it.
Not our perimeter, the FBI's perimeter. After they grabbed Ammon, they set up a perimeter.
What do you expect out of a U.S. Navy SEAL? Expect out of the U.S. Navy SEAL.
As a matter of fact, our member there on the refuge was able to negotiate with the FBI after the shooting.
The locals coming and covering the backside, away from the whole perimeter, and then outside that was the Texas Rangers, State Police, and the Clinton County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
For the exterior perimeter, so you got to go through the perimeter before you got to the fence.
What?
But
involving the mischaracterization, not of just LaVoy, but of the whole occupation, because I think it's been grossly mischaracterized. These folks, and I'm going to go back to Ammon Bundy, if they have arms, if they have security, it's because they're concerned about their personal safety. Why would they be concerned about their personal safety? If you were Ammon Bundy and you'd gone through the experience he had in Bunkerville, if you had snipers, if you'd had military personnel, if you had been tased 4 times, if you had had those contractors, if you had your brother Dave arrested, beat up, thrown in jail for simply taking pictures on a public road at it. We live in the United States of America. We have a Constitution. We have the Second Amendment that guarantees our right to bear arms to defend ourselves. If they are bearing arms, it is because of their concern for their personal safety. It is because they believe in the right to defend themselves. Those people who think that this, my perception again, that this is some attempt to spark a shootout or a rebellion or a revolution that will spread across the country, I'm telling you, I think that is absolute hogwash. That's what certain elements of the government and the media want to portray it, to try to make something like that happen, to say, okay, this is what happens when crazy people have guns. I don't think that's the case at all. And so if they have arms, it's for their own personal security. Otherwise, let's think about this. This is portrayed as a federal building. Well, let's describe it another way. This is public land. This is a public facility. Are not the Bundys and the Finicums and anyone else involved members of the public? Is it that sign that's got an American flag on it right now says, "Welcome to your National Wildlife Refuge"? Does that not include the Bundys, the Finicums, all of you, me? Why shouldn't they be able to come here? People say they shouldn't be able to. I've heard they're trespassing. How are they trespassing on public land? How do you differentiate this between the armed occupation that former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder engaged in 1970 of an ROTC building at Columbia University? What's the difference?
Amen.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference? If they have arms, it's because of concerns about their own personal safety. So if Eric Holder can do that and then become the U.S. Attorney General, we need to rethink the narrative here. They're American citizens exercising their lawful rights under the United States Constitution. They're on public land that was basically unoccupied. I can't see that they've caused any damage to anything. I think you need to really seriously relook at the narrative that a lot of the media is trying to spin about this.
Sir? Can you imagine that? You guys, listen to this. Okay, say that again. Listen to this, Mo. Did you hear this?
A friend of mine.
Give your name, and you're a rancher here locally.
My name is Dwayne Ferlano, local resident. Live here, work here. A friend of mine from Iraq called me on the phone this morning because he was watching Pete's show and saw me on camera yesterday.
Wow.
Just wanted to make sure everything was all right and wished he was here with us.
Wow, that is so awesome. Now listen, Here's hey Mo, listen, let me continue on here, and I'll call you back as soon as we get a break in the action here. But listen, I also want to remind everybody, I've spoken to local community members.
The public there we can get.
What is the safety committee meeting? What is this going to accomplish?
What the point of it is to express ideas of the county residents on how the county residents can manage the resources legally and peacefully. That's the purpose of the meeting.
That's right. Okay, now listen, there's a lot of people out there that are afraid to go out in public, okay? You can observe a meeting like that without any fear of retaliation. Show up, your presence alone, you don't even need that fear and to cause them to stay home. I want you to push past that, and I want you to realize that the tide is turning, that the covert means that the FBI has been employing to cause fear in the population, even among the sheriff's department. They're doing it to the sheriff himself. They're sending the sheriff emails, issuing threats. We don't issue threats to any sheriff, okay? That comes from the freaking FBI to cause him to cower in fear and to submit to their protection and security. You need to put that sheriff as the highest law enforcement authority within that county, period. He can tell the president to vacate the county if he decides to do that. Will he do that? Well, obviously that's not a good political move, but he has that authority to do that. The Committee of Safety meeting, come out to that Committee of Safety meeting. Even if you have been suffering from that fear that the FBI and the federal authorities have been propagating out there. Stand with your presence. It's going to be a priceless presence just by you being there. Committee of Safety meeting is going to be at the Senior Citizen Center tonight. We also want you to know that this stream on, and this is their only means by which. Hey guys, how are you? See, we got ranchers coming in all the time, you guys. Okay, ranchers coming in all the time, and so we're going to get educated about what our true constitutional powers are. Okay, this is an amazing moment in American history. I'm going to have, by the way, just to let you know before we get started here, I'm going to say this. I've stood with Captain O throughout this entire thing, dating all the way back to the moment at which I said, federal buildings, I don't do federal buildings. I told you that. We've spoken of this. But Captain O has been working very diligently for this moment today where we've got boots on the ground.
Okay, groups all across the country. Getting the message across. We have the Committee of Safety going on, like you said, at the Senior Center, working with the Bundys, working with law enforcement, working with everybody in the community to make sure that this is going to turn out to be the most positive thing that can happen. You know, there's some people out here that they didn't agree with the tactics, but they definitely agreed with the message. I'm one of those people that agrees with that message. Anybody who stands for the Constitution or freedom, absolutely, we're gonna stand right behind them in their message. But at the same time, we need to make sure that this turns out, you know, it's safely and you know, as best as it can. So.
That's right, and constitutionally.
And they started with an agenda, and everyone in the community was not notified of it. Our job is to notify the community. Our job is to get their blessing. We had the blessing from Harney County residents who contacted Veterans on Patrol.
Lamus, why does that name sound so familiar? Pete Santilli. MAC. Deborah. Pete Santilli. Big, you doing okay?
God bless you guys. Yeah.
You gonna come out there? Yeah, good. Especially those that are, you know what, they're afraid. Yeah. Especially business owners. Yeah. I will.
It's an honor for me to be here this evening. I'm intrigued by all of the media outlets who apparently have a lens count. Made thousands of ambulance calls. So that my position is extremely important, and I will do my best to do a good job. Rick Hobbine family and I moved here in 06, fall of 06. We reside out of the Druzy area, Stinking Water Creek. This is about a start. This is about bringing Harney County together, hearing every single voice, and going forward. And I really appreciate all you coming. And I really appreciate how it has brought Harney County together in a fashion. Not all of it positive, but I'd say 90% of it's been positive. And I'm really excited about where we're headed. Thank you.
I'm Melody Molt. I've been living in Burns on and off all my life. Went away to Alaska to college, Africa, to do some studies, but ended up right back here. My husband Louie and I raised 2 boys here, so this is home. I care about this place. I care about the people. I have a town job, so the family can keep farming, ranching.
As Rick started off, alluded to earlier, we attended a meeting set up by Ammon Bundy to bring the community together to support Hammonds and also issues that we have with our federal government and the jurisdiction on our public land. So we showed up there basically thinking that was, we all had the same idea that these issues were out there and we needed to do something about them, but right in our face was the fact that one of our closest friends and neighbors was going off to prison with his son in a fashion that we thought showed no justice to that family. So when the time came, the group that was there, 70 to 80 people, decided that we should have a committee to speak for the community in these kinds of issues and see if we couldn't head these things off before they got to the crisis situation and deal with them from behind. We'd rather be out in front of these issues. So we started being nominated. There were 7 of us nominated. One decided that it wasn't for him. The 6 of us that were nominated were voted in by that group as basically an executive committee for the Committee of Safety for Harney County. We have since that time, and that's been not been very long.
Sometimes we're going to have to agree to disagree.
I agree with everything you said the very last point. I said, we want to run them off and we'll take them.
And the way it has occurred, but it has occurred. So,
And I gotta say, I'm very, very excited about it.
and I know if we have the same issue, Boys, I want you guys to come.
And I stand here today. I am not afraid.
That the sheriff is the top law. This is you. Okay. So I got lots of time to say. Bring a little bit of more overreach everywhere. I just want to. You stood up. I mean, Theodore Roosevelt's got something to do with that wildlife refuge.
To take the lead on this issue, and we've got some people.
I wanted to speak to you guys a little bit. First of all, I want to say thank you for what you guys are doing. It takes great courage. Thank you very much. Keep it up. I want to speak to you a little bit about our presence in town. I have received phone calls, emails off our website, all kinds of questions asking what we're here. Hearing a lot of reference to militias and things like that. We are going to have a presence in town over the next week just to make sure and ensure the safety both of your community with all the attention that it's getting, and as well as the individuals up at the refuge. What that looks like is we'll be a safety buffer, if you will, to make sure any fringe element type patriots, if you will, if you guys heard all the rumors that are going to come here, we're going to make sure they don't. We're building relationships with the community here. A lot of you have seen us around over the last 2 weeks, am I right? So we want to make sure we maintain the communication with this committee as well as your citizens. And I'm from Boise, Idaho, so I'm just down the road, so this affects me as well. And I know if we have the same issue in Boise, I want you guys to come. But I don't want you to be afraid of the presence you see us here. We're all family people, God-fearing people, whatever you want to say, but we're just like you, no different. My organization is actually not a militia, so I wanted to spell that right now, so I hear that term's run out a lot. We're just community members as well, right down the road. So don't be afraid of us, okay? We're here for a purpose, and that's to protect your community as well as the gentleman up at the refuge. Any questions on that? No. Okay, perfect.
Thank you for doing what you've done. I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of meetings, and there's a lot of energy here right now. 2 weeks from now, there's not going to be the energy. How are you going to maintain? Best of luck to the committee. I'll be there for you. Anything you need, let me know, Tim.
County welcome, and thank you to him. Up with me at that committee and are working on this. None of us have worked together on committees before. I've been on lots of committees, lots of different places, and I'll tell you what, we don't always agree on everything, but we agree to disagree in a way that moves things forward. And this group is a venue for the different things we've sent out. We did literally move it 4 times in order to get it. What they did, you can do as well. We need to improve this group. We have put together who want to sit on this committee and work with us and be helpful Harney County. First thing you can do, after you do your homework on the issues that we have, the first thing you can do is talk to the people who are not. Why did you miss that? That was a great event. It was a coming together contact. We're going to have a meeting in about 2 weeks, and at that General Assembly meeting, we're going to vote on on additional members to our Safety Committee, Executive Committee. Okay? So if you want to be involved with that, the intimidation that's tried to come down on us was almost 99% of it because somebody told somebody something that was not true, or they wanted to make sure that, or somebody else believed something that was bad about what we were trying to do. We are you are part of a new movement in America that's going to go back to the constitutional rights as it was intended. And just come up and sign your card, and we'll vote on your next meeting. Okay.
Yeah, I want to get your comments out to the community because everyone, especially those that are afraid to show up, are watching this. Now, too far, just right off to the side here. Okay. Read it.
So I need permission from these guys.
Community understand.
Find out who it is. Let me know. I'll get the permission. I'll take it out.
That includes
I think we're okay. My signal is weird inside here. Okay. Sir, if you don't mind, here, hold on a second. Let me back up just a little bit. Okay. All right, let everyone know your name. Everyone's very interested in the world. You came out from Utah, obviously very passionate about land issues. Utah, as you said, is really important. That is the model. Utah has...
Well, I don't think Utah has a model yet. I mean, Utah, I feel like, is trying to take the lead on this issue, and we've got some people there. In fact, they've got a proposal before our legislature that starts meeting at the end of this month to allocate $14 million for litigation on that issue. But that frames the issue right there. Mm-hmm. They feel like it's going to take multi-million dollars, the resources that can be brought to bear. I mean, John Fratt, my good friend, he hit the nail on the head. Do you think the Supreme Court wants to rule in favor of the states on this issue? I mean, run it all the way up the flagpole. Right. I have grave concerns about that. So there's got to be another way. I mean, honest to goodness, there's lots of things that our so-called justice system just is not equipped to really do.
From federal intervention.
Well, again, there's a role for the federal government. Let's be clear about this. nobody's trying to overthrow the federal government and say there should no longer
No,
be
no, and that's not what I'm referring to.
lands. Let's not forget, there's a bunch of public land out there that already belongs to the states, and they're doing a better job managing those resources than the federal government is.
Right.
And that is one concern. I mean, in Utah, we're seeing that. I read an editorial in one of our main papers just this week. The outdoor industry had had a convention, and now we're talking about the transfer of public lands, and they're concerned that if the public lands are transferred to the state or to the county, that they will no longer be public lands, that they will all be privatized, which means that'll cut off access to a lot of those lands, like is the case in many of the states farther east, and they're concerned that that's going to shut down this whole multi-million, billion-dollar industry. And so I think we need to address some issues like that in Utah, Oregon, all the western states, and probably say, you know what, there is so much public land out there that even if some of it is privatized, even if some of it is developed, there's still plenty of room for all of that. Recreation level would be the best.
Right.
The state level, personally, I think what Harney County is doing right now is the model. If they can
could
figure that
potentially,
out,
sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to go back to Utah and say, you guys, Ken Ivory, American Lands Council,
right?
Get on.
I know
this.
Ken Ivory, by the way. Yeah.
Absolutely, get on this because you know you've been fighting, you've been trying to push this thing uphill, and it's been a real uphill push.
Right.
Look what they're doing.
Right.
They have jumped out on this in a way that I am just. I'm speechless.
It's a consensual process, and as we
actually, this whole get up when I get out in the field and doing the live streaming and stuff like that, I've got over 1,200 episodes. I've done a lot of work. You know my involvement with Bundy Ranch?
I saw you down there.
I did the first interview with Clive.
Right.
Remember that video?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
In fact, I went back to refresh my recollection of that. So I could infer what happened to Hamlin, in order to some of my comments that I've been making.
Yeah, I'd like to bring you on my show for a regular interview. Okay, sir. Okay. No. Oh, absolutely not.
I'd like you to tell those guys out at the refuge, I'm going out there myself to tell them not to do guys.
Not good job.
Yeah, I will relay that. I will relay that. I will.
And I was going to get up and ask that question, but somebody had brought it up. So.
And that's why the committee was split 50-50 whether or not to tell them to go. Because if they go, then everything will go back to normal.
I watched you guys hand out the pizzas and stuff.
Oh, wow. That's great. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
This is a soft side I wanted to see earlier.
Of you. Oh, I am who I am. And if you're trying to change that, I'll freaking crush you.
Hey, let me ask you.
You know what I mean? I'm exactly who I am.
How long are you guys sticking around?
You walked up to me within the first 30 seconds. You were telling me how to be and what to do.
Well,
anybody tells me what to do, I freaking rip their face off.
But I understand.
Dude, this is the second time you've gotten in my face. Just step
want
away.
to come over and be kind.
Step away. You're not being kind. This is the second time. I am exactly who I am. That's great. That's all you need to do. I'm Keith Santilli. Don't ever tell me what to do. He's telling me to take off my camis and be kinder general.
Well, that's a.
Did you ever see a 2020?
Yeah. Way to go. And the thing about it is, you're fortunate enough.
I'm with the poll. Okay, I'm Keith Santilli. Press poll.
Absolutely. I just want to say
And I always tell her, she's my co-host, and I always tell her, don't ever tell me what to do or say or do. Those that try to keep up with this, I'm
not coming over to Badger. I'm coming over to thank you.
Thank you.
But they're still there, and that's how great it is.
One of our big issues we're dealing with now is not dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Huh?
I gotta stick up kind of date for it.
I mean, I've been hearing about this meeting all week, and I've been hearing about the Committee of Safety. And I'm telling you, I've been walking around the room, and everybody here feels like this was just the same old, same old. And now these people are going to take over, and nothing's going to get done. And I'm just telling you, that's the consensus that I'm feeling here, because none of them, and I don't know, it's like...
Hey, Brandon.
It's such a...
Hold on a second. Hey, Brandon.
I guess we'll just have to see. But, you know.
Okay, actually, stay right there. And we've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to really introduce you, so...
There's a lot of room noise, so give us...
Huh?
There's a lot of room noise.
Yeah. Right here. Okay. Brandon Curtis, founder of Idaho 3%ers. You know I've been advocating for good reason, because I believe in exactly what you're doing. Every day, every hour that has transpired, just seeing how you guys operate. So you guys coming back out here, I'm going to kind of lead you into this discussion, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Absolutely.
We've had some security issues, okay? The bottom line is we've got a situation where the Sheriff's Department can't even respond to it. The FBI is more resigned to doing covert stuff to screw everything up in the background. And they will only show up with... I'd rather have them show up with tanks than do what they're doing covertly.
You heard the community here. They're scared to go talk to those guys.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. But the bottom line is security can be managed by we the people, period.
Right.
So you're coming back, obviously understanding that we're now in a constitution.
Well, we figured there was a need for that, and the reason being is because what we don't want to do is allow another free Waco. We don't want to allow, we need to provide a security buffer for the guys up there at the refuge, as well as the community here. And it's for a couple different things. We don't want them to end up in any bloodshed. We don't want a standoff. We don't want a wait type situation up on the hill. We don't want the community here afraid of us. We want them to be afraid of the sheriff's office. Unfortunately, the sheriff has been absent. For whatever reason, I don't know. But what we want is for the people here to feel secure. And we want them up on the hill at the refuge. Ammon's doing what he's doing to make a good statement.
Right.
And it needs to be listened to, and it needs to be made.
Right.
No matter what anyone thinks about how we executed it, I'll put it out there. I didn't agree with how he first did. You and I talked about that. But the statement needs to be made.
Yes.
And we're going to support that. And we're going to make sure that he can do that safely.
Now, I heard from Ammon himself today. I spoke with him personally. The U.S. Constitution is so that is going to require a level of negotiation plus a level of support.
Correct.
Okay? And I stand with that. With Ammon. And I'm fully... They've been told certain things. The FBI is doing all these profiles that, all these people are bad people, domestic terrorists, armed insurrection, everything is bad. We're going to bring in, we're going to suspend posse comitatus, bring in the DOD, we're going to do drone strikes. He's scared. He's scared.
Well, and you hit on something that's very funny, that they keep throwing around this word armed insurrection.
Yes.
You go look at the definition of armed insurrection, that indicates we're going to take over the White House or do something to that effect. Armed. We're not doing that here.
Well, they didn't even take over the refuge. No. Armed. There was nobody in. They just walked in and then took a defensive posture.
Right.
It wasn't an armed takeover.
It wasn't an insurrection. It wasn't even an unarmed insurrection.
Right.
It wasn't even a takeover. It's not a siege.
Right.
Either.
And they just...
all the drama out there. This is an occupy. That's what it is. It's an occupy.
It is.
And that's what they're doing.
It is.
Peacefully. I encourage people to go talk to them. We're going up there tomorrow. You've been up there.
Right.
There's no issue. You can come and go freely.
Do you believe that you're also... I see it as a three-pronged leveling out there, that you'll be able to interface with them should there be security issues like we had last night or the night before.
The night before last, yes.
Right.
Exactly.
We can self-police, correct?
We'll self-police. We'll respond to those things. The sheriff's office was not able to respond to that situation. We will. We'll deal with it. We'll remove the issue. Tomorrow, I will be reaching the FBI.
Tonight, residents in Burns are coming together asking the militia members, stop your standoff and leave. This is Coin 6 News at 11 o'clock. Tonight, residents in Burns are coming together asking the militia members, Stop your standoff and leave. This is Coin 6 News at 11 o'clock. I'm Jennifer Hoff.
I'm Jeff Gianola, and while they want the militia to leave, they agree. They want to return federal lands to the county and its locals. Now, tonight's meeting was packed, drawing roars of applause. Our Cole Miller with the latest from Burns tonight.
It's quiet here now, but earlier it was much different. This committee says that returning the land to the people who live here would be a huge economic benefit. It also sent a letter to that militia saying it's thankful for the message it's created, but that it's time to go home.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
That was the theme tonight, a quote from a 6th century Chinese philosopher, as a crowd filled the senior center in Burns to hear from the Harney County Committee of Safety. It should be noted, however, the group is not affiliated with the county itself. It's a committee less than a month old with a few goals. Tim K. Smith is a member.
One was to show support for the Hammond family. Two was to develop a plan to benefit the economic betterment of Harney County through land management.
The committee wants to see portions of federal land turned over to the county and its people. He says by switching hands, industries like timber and grazing could provide millions to the county.
There are so many federal regulations that accrue to federal land.
It's an idea many are on board with, an idea many spoke in favor of taking turns at the podium.
And I think it'll be better for the food producers, the food consumers, the hunters, the environmentalists, the species that live on the land. I think this would be a win for everybody.
I agree with 90% of what I heard, and I mean, I just want to see it keep going forward.
As for the militia takeover at the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, some believe they should stay, but the committee as a whole delivered a note to Eamon Bundy asking him to leave.
We have to thank him for that, but we think now we've got it to the point where it's probably time for him to go home.
Moving forward, this committee says it knows it has a lot of hurdles and challenges ahead. It says it's working with lawyers to help get the ball rolling and the groundwork laid. Meanwhile, it's urging folks who attended the meeting tonight to reach out to their elected officials. In Burns, Cole Miller, Coin 6 News.
How's it going, everybody? This is Lewis Arthur with Veterans on Patrol, our crisis response team. We hit the ground yesterday. I'm not going to go into everything that's taking place. I'll just go ahead and state some facts that we know right now. While I was out in the community, Eamon Bundy and his brother came over here to our camp, which we set up outside of their establishment. And when I returned, I pulled 22 individuals in the community, including businesses. I found 3 individuals who said they support this operation the way it's being ran. 3 out of 22. I found 17 individuals who want to have their lands taken back, but they don't want it to happen this way with outsiders coming into their neighborhood. We came up here to de-escalate the situation and try to convince someone that having the federal government killing you is not going to make you a martyr, and the majority of the patriots are pounding on their keyboards. They're not going to rise up. And I know you're going to end up watching this video, so I'm going to tell you again, you won't be a martyr. So if you do it, the only one that loses is your family and your children. So why don't you think about that for a second? Really consider. You've been screaming for help, and how many people have came out here? Now, we mobilized a crisis response team. We didn't bring weapons and ammunition. We bought food, water, and medical equipment. And our job was to get in here and try to extract the warfighter, but we also want the women and children removed from the compound. When the founding fathers marched on tyranny, they didn't take their wives and children with them into battle. Yet we see American patriots out here taking their wives and children with them into battle, knowing that this could end up being a Waco or a Ruby Ridge. So we still are requesting for all the women and children to be removed. Our request was that the citizens of Harney County would come out here and take command of operation. If the citizens of Harney County were in command of this operation behind us, then I would personally support it, but Veterans on Patrol itself would not, because this gets into the area where we're fighting over race, religion, and politics. So there's some muddy water here, and we're trying to filter through it right now. Part of us wants to stay because we know who's in there. They attacked and assaulted our unarmed team when we walked in there peacefully to check on a friend and see if we could get her home. They wouldn't allow us. Blaine Cooper sucker punched me in the back of my head. Then when his other 2 guys started coming towards me and I moved towards them, he sucker punched me again. And then Jeff and our team moved in, and then he punched Jeff and busted his nose and blacked his eye.
Hey everyone, John Ritzheimer here, the Malheur National Refuge. Taking a few minutes here to dispel a lot of the rumors and the rhetoric going on out there in the social media world. You're hearing it from me. You know, as far as who's an FBI informant and FBI provocateurs and all this gibberish. I want to start with Louis Arthur, Veterans on Patrol. Louis Arthur, I met this man a few times at some patriotic events in Arizona, and it became very clear to me that this is a mentally unstable person. Somehow or another, this man got my phone number at one point in time, and I received a phone call from him at once at 11 o'clock at night, and freaking out like, John, you need to come down to Tucson. They're supposed to be building a Walmart, but it's not going to be a Walmart. They're going to be towers here. These are observation towers, and they're going to put us in these prison camps. Woke me from my sleep, and I was like, who is this? And he's like, is this John Ritzheimer? I said, yes. Well, this is Louis Arthur. You got to get down here and help me, man. We got to destroy their construction site. We got to put a stop to this. And I said, Louis, I'm going to go back to bed now. Please don't ever call me again. And I hadn't heard from him. Then he pops up doing Veterans on Patrol. And I start seeing some good things come from it. Louis Arthur is not a veteran. I went down there to go see what was going on with Veterans on Patrol. When I went down there, and this is not saying when any other person was down there, but when I went down there, I was the only veteran there. Good things were happening. They were getting homeless veterans off the street. I had heard of 3 that were turned over to the VA. They were passing out water. They were doing good things. I still questioned Louis's motives when he started this, knowing his mental illness or if he's on drugs or what. I don't know if he's schizophrenic and needs medication or what. But good things were happening. However, he was riding the coattails in the name of veterans. It would be better said civilians out patrolling, gathering homeless people and bringing them together and providing them shelter and chow and everything. Again, it's great, it's good, it was a noble thing. But I'm questioning whether or not this Louis Arthur is perhaps a homeless person and has found a way to develop this guise using the name veteran for Veterans on Patrol to get people to sympathize with him and donate to them so that he can have shelters and food and everything brought to him. And he doesn't have to. So again, people, if you just think you know Louis Arthur from social media, you do not know Louis Arthur. Also, any individual that was at the Bundy Ranch can tell you about what this man had done at the Bundy Ranch standoff. Things as far as taking chalk, going around reporters and chalking on the ground all around them and saying, this is so my snipers don't take you out.
Now, and I think one of the reasons why they're not doing anything is because we told our forces on the outside, and he says explicitly, if someone gets shot or killed out here, until we figure out what's wrong and who's putting forward these false plans, then we're going to mobilize in defense of our patriots out here. We will do that, and they are understanding that. Yes, because we're not here and they don't know everywhere we are, that's kind of holding them at bay. And there is an agreement that we don't want any escalation whatsoever. We don't want, yes. But we won't cut the supply lines for food and medical equipment for the protesters and stuff out here. Any more tactical equipment, communications, anything like that, it's not going to be delivered by the people anymore. We've frozen all those lines until we know exactly what's going on and we make sure our militias are not being set up. Okay? Remember, we can't de-escalate it and make sure it's... The food, water, and everything, that they will make sure that the people have that. With the hand radio equipment, any of the tactical gears, certain things they're requesting that they put out there, we won't send here. And we never sent firearms or munitions anyways. Remember, we came with humanitarian aid, so that's not going to be an issue. If they can still get those, then we've never been involved in that. But for the bodies, if they're telling you a bunch of people are coming, well, There's no one on our side that's going to come until we know what Ryan Payne's agenda is. Nobody. Until we have full clarification of what's going on. Because we don't want to have anyone here. I understand.
So, but my question is, why are law enforcement here?
Law enforcement is here to make sure that I can come get my personal property, my brother's property, and that there's no...
And that's including those radios?
And that is just, that's just including those equipment, all the food, water, medical equipment. I don't see any of the camping gear and stuff. We were going to take that and give it to the protesters. But my personal gear is my bug out bag, my tactical equipment, my brother's bug out bag, tactical equipment. If it's not here, it's been stolen or damaged. We're not going to press charges. I want to
I can tell you that no one here even knows who this man is.
Yeah, I don't know.
No one here even knows.
Never seen him before.
Only a couple of us.
Yeah.
Several of us came in last
He's been here, so he knows from day one, so he understands.
Good.
So you have any idea where your stuff is?
We are not, we don't know. We don't know right now.
So what are they going to do then? How are they going to
They're
find
not
it?
going to do anything. Okay. We have an agreement. I don't want this, I don't want anybody to think. I requested just one vehicle, but by their protocol they had to bring two. They're just here to make sure that nothing happens because, you know, there is a recording where they said they were setting me up and it predates the police report, so they know.
Now, I was here with the radio incident. I was in here when that happened. And I had a problem with that because that was your own personal
Well, it wasn't the radios. It was afterwards. The Minuteman came up to me and said that Ryan and Little Dog said that I was a CI for the FBI and I was wearing a wire. I run a recorder whenever I feel bad, and because I voted against Ryan, I felt like they were going to try to set me up. And one of the incidents, God answered one of my prayers personally, and they revealed what they were going to do to me. They said it clearly on recorder that they were going to have a long gun and a pistol, and I'm erratic with my behavior. They would take care of me. Because that recording and the messages to the USM and the people that's been trying to help these people out here predates their complaint that they made. They know that it was a false report. And if we really wanted to hurt people or do anything, I mean, we would just say, okay, we want to press charges. We want to do this. We don't want the situation escalated. We don't want anyone over here to be afraid that the sheriff's going to come up here and fire a shot or anything like that. They're in agreement that they're not going to do that. And we told them that if they do that, if they do that, that our militias on the outside, the peaceful constitutionalists, will view that as an unconstitutional act against you guys. Okay?
Yeah, that would just be a spark we don't need.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone to get killed out here. We only came to help. And somewhere along the line, maybe we've hurt, but it wasn't intentional. And because of all the lies and the miscommunications and the blatant attempt to get rid of us while we were trying to de-escalate, there's nothing else we can do here. The best thing is for us to pull our people out and just have faith that God's going to lead you guys in the right way.
If I'll break an ankle on the ice, you know, or God forbid something much worse, whatever medical assistance they have there, I understand they have one Army 11 Bravo combat medic who can help out. At least he can.
Always been built to last. Sometimes it takes a while. Recognition is
Army 11 Bravo combat medic that can help out. At least he can get them stabilized enough to where it's something more serious. We can get them here and then get them home.
Sometimes it takes a while. Recognition is seldom fast. There are many inches in a mile.
Let's go. It's not started? You caught me off guard. I wanted to make sure I got that person's name again. Rodney. Rodney. Okay, that Rodney. Oh, okay, good. Fantastic. Good. I'll take care of it.
The giant. What? For what?
Just having a package delivered out there.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Is he going to go ahead?
Yeah, they just need permission because I guess they're not allowed to go out there. There's no reason for them not to go out there.
No, their boss, her boss won't let them go deliver it.
Because of the press. It's okay.
Oh, because of the press.
Right.
No, because of the guys at the press making a big deal about it. It is what it is, right?
Right, it is what it is, but...
So we'll make a trip down there.
Who's at the Silver Spur?
Okay.
Who's at the Silver Spur?
I am. A whole bunch of us. A majority of us. Brandon Curtis is there. Half of the hotel is filled with...
See if she can just drop it at the Silver Spur.
If you can. If you left it for me or Brandon Curtis, we're there at the hotel, and we've got a crew of people that go out there all the time.
So would that be where people would deliver it? Because on Facebook, a lot of people are asking where they could deliver or where they could send care packages to.
You can send it to the Silver Spur. Brandon Curtis is he's handling security issues with Idaho 3 Percenters. Myself, my crew, we've got a whole bunch of people there. We'll make sure that they get the packages. Yeah, absolutely. We're running out there every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see if that's okay with her. But either way,
Okay.
you might have. Can you call Ryan? Do we have his number? Oh, you can call him.
Dude, great job, man. Seriously, you're doing such an outstanding job.
Thank you. I'm not a speaker.
You know what? No, you did fantastic. Just you know how good speaking skills come?
Practice.
Only one way. Is just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
He's more comfortable in front of the camera than he is comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just keep doing it, man. You're doing a great job.
Right.
Yep. Correct?
We'll self-police. We'll respond to those things. The sheriff's office was not able to respond to that situation. We will. We'll deal with it. We'll remove the issue. Tomorrow, I will be reaching out to the FBI to sit down with them to start those discussions. That's going to be vital. That's going to be important.
Okay.
We need to do that. They need to understand the roles of everybody here. Mm-hmm. They need to understand the rules and the role of engagement. Mm-hmm. And what we expect from them because all the eyes are on them.
Right.
The media being here like yourself shows the world what's transpiring, and they need to act accordingly.
Can you do me a favor when you sit down with them?
Yes.
This is just a Santilli request, okay? Can you tell them if there's an opportunity to exchange, okay? If they could please exchange the psychological covert operation that they're doing,
right,
that people aren't aware of,
right,
and just replace that with tanks. Bring tanks in. At least we can see them. We know what's coming at us.
Right.
I believe that is what is more dangerous to our society is the psychological warfare being perpetrated upon this local populace.
What's going on right here? What's going on right here?
Right here.
Well, isn't it ironic that they say we're the patriots, we're the militia, we're the bad guys? We're coming down here to help the community.
Right.
We have families, we have businesses, we work, we have jobs, we have children.
Right.
However, we're staying at a hotel. You can come knock on our door, talk to us.
Right.
You can't do that over there. You have to go through gates and a compound and security.
Right.
They're not transparent.
Right.
That's a problem.
They're not.
No.
That's an important consideration. If you can't provide for transparency, okay, their covert operation is Obama has said we're here to study and surveil, and do so covertly. What are they studying and surveilling? So, good question. Is it necessary for the resolution here? What's happening here in this room, I think, is most important, is that we, the people, come together with a committee of safety.
What's happening in this room right here is setting history.
Yeah,
I
believe
was
so.
just asked by another reporter, what is the American way to you? And my answer was what you just saw right here. This is the American way. This is American spirit. The people are coming together and saying, we're going to take control, so we the people, right, which they can do.
Right.
This is setting history right here.
Yes, sir.
And this needs to keep momentum up.
Yep.
People need to keep watching this. People need to support this community. People need to come here and see how great of a community this is in a peaceful way, and to support them. Show support.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And also, you know, cooler heads will prevail, and a process by which, if it is necessary for quote-unquote militia intervention, it will be consensual, it will be constitutional. But all opportunities will be exhausted for a peaceful, like the redress of grievances, right?
Yeah.
That process has been going on for well prior to the standoff.
They've been trying that for months.
That's right.
They've been trying that for months, and it fell on deaf ears. They were ignored. The citizens here, the constituents of the elected officials, that courthouse, have been ignored by the people they voted on.
That's exactly right. Now, Brandon will be here. What's up, guys and gals? Oh, come on. If you don't want to be... Let's go. It's not started? You caught me off guard. I wanted to make sure I got that person's name again. Rodney. Rodney. Okay, that Rodney. Oh, okay, good. Fantastic. Good. I'll take care of it.
What? For what? What?
Just having a package delivered out there.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's too big. Is he going to go ahead?
Yeah, they just need permission because I guess they're not allowed to go out there. There's no reason for them not to go out there.
No, their boss, her boss won't let them go deliver it.
Because of the press. It's okay.
Oh, because of the press.
Right.
No, because of the guns and the press making a big deal about it. It is what it is, right?
Right, it is what it is, but...
So we'll make a trip down there.
Who's at the Silver Spur?
Okay.
Who's at the Silver Spur?
I am. A whole bunch of us. A majority of us. Brandon Curtis is there. Half of the hotel is filled with...
see if she can just drop it in the Silver Spur.
If you can. If you left it for me or Brandon Curtis, we're there at the hotel, and we've got a crew of people that go out there all the time.
So would that be where people would deliver? Because on Facebook, a lot of people are asking where they could deliver or where they could send care packages to.
You can send it to the Silver Spur. Brandon Curtis is he's handling security issues with Idaho 3%ers. Myself, my crew, we've got a whole bunch of people there. We'll make sure that they get the packages. Yeah, absolutely. We're running out there every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see if that's okay with her. But either way, you might have. Can you call Ryan? Do you have his number? Oh, you can call him.
Dude, great job, man. Seriously, you're doing such an outstanding job.
Thank you. I'm not a speaker.
You know what? No, you do fantastic. Just you know how good speaking skills come?
Practice.
Only one way. You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. Yeah, that's it.
He's more comfortable in front of the camera than he is comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just keep doing it, man. You're doing a great job.
All right,
yep. On camera, don't go near me.
And the community does not want Arizona militia, Nevada militia, Idaho militia. They don't want the militias coming out into their community. They don't want us here, and it's very obvious when you go down there. Ammon Bundy said if he wasn't wanted here, he would go home. And we were going, when I came back, they told me Ammon was here, and I said, well, let's go over and check on our friend. We won't say her name. We want to see if she wanted us to take her home to Arizona and get her out of here. You know, if I can at least get one of the women out of here, then that's one life we might have saved. And our goal was if we can get one life out of here, to get them out.
About how many people?
And now you're going to have Ammon Bundy do everything he can to get the media to point at him on his horse and flags, because they're going to do everything they can to prevent us. They'll do that, and they'll do everything they can to prevent us from telling the truth. We were assaulted last night. We went in unarmed. They tried to prevent us. I got punched in the back of the head by Blaine Cooper, and then two other guys came at me, and they had one of the guys had his hand on his gun standing back, and we're unarmed. I go towards those guys. Blaine sucker punches me again. He moves in. Blaine punches him in the face and busts his face open. So I ordered my team to evac. We don't return violence with violence.
Again, this man needs help. He came here trying to get his 2 seconds of fame on the camera. And if anybody, people listen to his stories. It started out when he was leaving Phoenix that he needed to come up and rescue a Marine with PTSD, who was you know, it was a Marine that they were worried about. By the time he got here, it turned into he was here to rescue Ryan Payne. And then by the time he was down and infiltrated into the camp and trying to leave, it turned into he was trying to rescue the women. So please just have some common sense and see through this man. Know that what he came here to do was to get a few seconds of fame, and I don't know what beyond that. But I will tell you this. When he did get here, I was not up on the post. Up on post was a man who is a Vietnam veteran who lives in Shiloh, Arizona, who goes by the name Wolf, and he's an honorable Marine, former Marine. And as soon as Louis Arthur came up and the man was like, whoa, who are you? Louis Arthur immediately blasted and plowed into this Vietnam veteran, knocking his hand back into the mirror of his truck that he was using to help set up for guard up there, smashing the mirror and busting his hand open and actually drawing blood. They then proceeded to go down into the camp, storming and marching and yelling, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to feed you a BS story beyond that, because I did not witness anything beyond that. What happened down in there, as far as all these claims of he was attacked and assaulted by individuals, no, it did not happen. And when I saw them leaving, allegedly there's a man, I guess I heard, that was with him that has a black eye now. I will tell you, and I'm giving you my absolute word, when they left here, that man did not have a black eye. And go and watch Pete Santilli. Pete Santilli was right there, had it all recorded on what was going on outside the gate. They came here and they started problems. People worried about me, trying to call certain people, individuals here, FBI informants and provocateurs, and it needs to stop.
Okay, we came unarmed, peacefully, and the violence was brought upon us first. Ammon Bundy invited every American out here, and now they're saying that we came uninvited. Which one is it? Were we allowed to come out and try to help, or were we not? Because you're telling everyone one thing. I'm on the ground, and I would ask anyone in the American Patriot Movement to stand down. Do not come out here. This occupation is being ran by militias outside of Oregon. The Harney County residents don't want us out here.
We teach, we talk hours after
I've seen little bits, but they're controlling it. They want.
That's it. They're the gatekeepers, and so
we can control the message if we can get down to brass tacks and be very clear where everybody's coming from, and also, you know, and define roles. So I'm gonna let Todd.
Well, no. So yeah, we kind of took a detour to do that, but it was worth doing because.
Great insight.
Anyway, we need to LaVoy, keep talking about the objectives. We all agree those are worthwhile objectives.
Let's talk a little bit here in specifics, because it's a plan. It is moving. It is rolling. There is a committee that has been formed that this community themselves has organized and elected. They call it a committee of safety. They come here, they meet in the conference room with other ranchers, and they say, how is it that we may take control? Please do not let this right now get out.
No, I'm not. That's why nothing's being recorded.
Okay.
This is off the record.
Okay. They are preparing themselves to come in and this is not a federal building. This is Harney County Resource Center. Okay, the signs have been made, they're created, and in the next day or two, the citizens of this county will come up here and put that sign up on that thing saying, this is the county building's county's resource center. They will come down here, they'll begin to transact their business. They'll set up where they can begin to interface with the ranchers, the deeds, and stuff to begin this untwine the federal transactions, because there's myriad of them over decades, several decades, and to re-exert.
Short taste. We just need to be short because we only got so much time. So I'm going to interject one question and go on to the next point. The question is, have you researched at the county courthouse how the deed is recorded on this property?
Well, we couldn't get in, okay? It's only working because they've locked it down.
Okay, that's fine. I've seen the lockdown. I'm just wondering if we've done that.
No, not yet. We've got to do that. We'll be done. This is going to take.
Steve, make notes about those kind of questions. Let's not derail this discussion.
So that's what. See, this is a long-term objective. This is where the county will come in here and use their county resource center to untwine that, and we're going to be gone. They're going to continue to work. We're getting the heck out of Dodge. We're going home.
Right.
But they will be protected.
So here, I have a question. It's not, are there people among those ranchers who are capable, have the leadership, the backbone and stuff that are willing to step up to the plate. Because placing those signs and everything, that needs to be locals doing that.
That's what we just said. We're not doing it.
I know.
Out of the picture, their counties, they're elected people.
I agree, but are there people that are stepping up to the plate?
The signs are made. The signs are in hand. They may do it today.
Okay.
Or they may do it
They're just
tomorrow.
replacing all the old signs.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. But you're seeing locals who are becoming enabled enough, strengthened enough that they're willing to take those steps.
They have the signs in hand. They took them last night back to their committees to try to talk about the days when they will do that.
Because here's the thing, LaVoy, if you're going to help them, they have to stand up and show their faces because they are not.
Our face is not to be there. Our face is to be out of sight.
It's got to happen quickly though, because that's what
I'm hoping today. If not, it has got to be tomorrow. It has got to go quickly. But the signs are made. So, yes.
We're going to have a short meeting.
Who?
Our group.
Okay.
As soon as when we get done, we have to. Don't run off till
Okay. And I've got family coming in about 8:30 that I'm going to go up and bring down and stuff. So anyway, yes, that is the objective, is to strengthen them, hand them the baton, leave, and promise that we'll come back if they begin to be impressed again. We are to be see, for example, we need no more people here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in fact, we got enough, because what's happened, the militias need to stay way out there. They have gone to the Fed. They're stacking up all their armaments. Leave them alone. We're going to leave you alone. We're out here. Says don't do crazy with it. Don't do crazy, but we promise you. Now, we have no control over this. We promise you. If you do crazy with those people there, we do crazy. So if they go crazy, the world goes crazy. Okay, you're sitting on a pound cake. All right, you may not understand. You may do. You may understand. There's a few sitting here, and there's matches here and here. We gotta keep that from going off. But this is how they're going to try to make it go off. They will send provocateurs, like they've done already, come running down in here, and they'll try to get that ignite. They're looking for a gunshot. They're looking for somebody to get shot. And once that's done, they want to unleash the hounds of hell, and take us out. And she's working really hard to paint us crazy. And at the point they say we got enough of the world behind us, then we need a flashpoint. There's a flashpoint. We gotta save our country. Boom! And we're out. We're heroes. We have saved the day, and we've taken out these radical redneck hick terrorists. And we are the good people, and America will stand up and applaud and say, thank you so much.
No, that's the script.
Good seeing you too, man.
Where are you going?
Out here. I'm hungry now.
We're going to go get you a hot one. I'm going to pay for it. We'll take the other.
No. I like cold food.
No, take it to Ben. We'll warm it up. We'll get you a hot
Tell
one.
Deb I didn't mean to blow her off in there, but I had to keep my incognito.
Okay.
Good meeting tonight.
Bye. It was awesome. Yep.
Did you guys get all that ready?
No, not all of it. Not just yet. We will though.
My husband wants to come up and say hey too, so he might do that.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd be awesome. You know what? Listen, this is a slower process. I can't take everybody and just slam them in, but I'm going to tell you something right now. The biggest thing that is happening right now, like with all the fear mongering and the psyop and all of that, huh?
So I'm glad you talked tonight.
Was that a good point? Okay, it's really, really important. The FBI, we would be better off because we could see all the tanks and the trucks and the troops. We'd be better off seeing them right out in the front. What's worse is what they're doing covertly. It's worse. They're causing so much division in this community.
Well, that's what my daughter called and talked to Deb this morning when I was there visiting with you guys. That she had people saying, you didn't have me on that.
No. Look at it. I'm facing this way. There's no way. No.
My daughter, when she talked to Deb today about she's good friends with a lady that works at the refuge.
Right.
Her supervisor advised her to pack up and leave town and get out of here. Because
Really?
it's going to get crazy. That's what she told Deb this morning. Yes.
This morning?
Not the lady that actually runs the refuge, but she works with her.
Right.
And she was told to leave. Yeah. She was told, you need to get your stuff and get out there. So she called her daughter and said,
That's
I'm
crazy.
scared. I want you and my grandkids to go with me. Let's get out of town.
That's crazy. It is propagating.
Making it scary.
And
Not you guys.
they're propagating fear because they don't want these types of meetings to, because you know what, don't you feel empowered coming out of this? Right? Isn't it amazing?
Oh yeah. I was
Yeah.
excited.
Okay.
Anyways,
Take care.
maybe
You're
we'll
awesome.
see you guys
All right, bye.
Bye.
Wow.
She knows you're lying.
They just eat themselves.
I'm corrupting Mr. Rhodes.
So you're the one that has the constant stream going on out there.
Just trying to keep it going, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I was you died off for a while. I wasn't able to get all of it.
Yeah, you know, we've been conserving stream time because we didn't know what was going to happen. So we need support as well, and we're getting the support of our listeners. But you know, also making sure we got like 3 boxes now, and we actually had a local community member purchase our most recent batch of airtime, which is great. That's very, very helpful. So we're going to try to keep it going as much as possible. Yeah. Later, man.
Hey,
have a good night.
thanks.
We'll see you guys out
They
there.
had to adjust the
Blake Cooper.
microphone for you.
And she needs a signature
I'll get a signature from them.
from both of them, and you have to sign for that.
Okay, I have to sign for them. Okay, okay, I will. Yeah. All right.
All right. What,
Tell-
you guys have a good night. What time? Do you want to? She might do it tomorrow, either that or Monday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow or Monday.
I would say in the morning.
Give me a time. I'm
Tomorrow?
texting
8 o'clock,
her
like 8
literally right
o'clock?
now.
Huh?
8 o'clock? 7 o'clock?
Well, I'm not going to be able to get their signatures by
No.
tomorrow. It's going to have to be by Monday then, right?
Okay.
But doesn't she have to give you something to sign? She's got to give you something to sign, though.
She is.
No, she doesn't. You just have to get their written
Oh, okay.
permission.
Written permission.
Yeah,
Okay.
for you to sign for
Yeah,
the
I'll get the written. So can she do it on Monday then? It's not going to be by tomorrow. I won't
I
get
just
the
think
written.
that way she knows when you're going to be there. Is my
Okay.
because you're kind of hit and miss. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what time tomorrow
You
afternoon.
could do it too. I mean, anybody can
Well,
do it.
babe,
She
why don't
just
you
needs
just-
to- because
give
this
us-
is it's easier to
I
talk
know.
to him into his face.
We could get his number and I could call him.
Isn't it the worst thing you've ever heard? Yes, I agree.
Well, how hard is it to be like, oh, well, I can do it Monday or tomorrow?
Monday,
just get
not
their
tomorrow because
signatures
I'm
right.
not going to be able to get their.
See, that's not hard. Monday, give
Monday.
me time.
Okay, in
So
the
she
morning.
knows when to be there.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so get their signatures tomorrow and then she'll
Yeah,
get you the
Monday,
pictures
9
tomorrow.
o'clock in the morning.
See, there
All
you
right,
go.
we're going to be here.
See how hard was that? People making it harder than it needs
Is that
to
okay?
be.
It's
Good.
easy. Don't let him push. Don't let him push you around because
Right?
he's tall.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
talking around me. Just
Ranchers are pushy. Jeez.
crying out loud.
Don't let him push you around.
Freaking decision. Right?
That's right. Dude, I'm trying my best, man. Seriously, I really am. Thank you very much. Those are
man. I've been watching your streams.
those are great words. It means a lot to me. It really does.
I came down the day for the rally, stayed till the next day, and then went back. So I watched your streams till we came back the other day.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Card going my way.
Yeah,
It's probably the second worst thing.
thank you so much.
No, he showed me. We're right across the hall from you, so if there's anything you need, just let us know.
Want to ring you in?
We don't know.
He's on.
We're at the Best Western. We're going 228. No. oh, no. I was just kidding. 228. Don't go there. Over there at the Best Western. I was just joking.
I think there's some bad people in town.
Huh?
I think there's some bad people in town.
I don't even know. Yeah. I gave out my room number. I did. Yeah, dude, I mean, we've received popular support from the community, and if we weren't receiving that and we overstay our welcome, I mean, we'll leave, But I think the community's pretty protective of what we're trying to do, That's a great
From
thing.
the first day I rolled into town to now, it's been a day and night difference.
Isn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got any skis?
Even the sheriff. Yeah. You guys ready to go?
Yeah. Bar. Next to what?
9 o'clock.
Oh, that's a good bar.
What's up, man? Great job, dude.
Say Michelle.
Bye, brother. Yep. Yeah. See you out there?
Hey, is this the Peterson Telly show?
What? No. It's a Brandon Curtis show.
You have to have another angle for him.
Huh?
Yeah, you have to point it down, I'm sure, vertically challenged.
No, I don't have to do the angle.
There you go. Midget status.
Orange hat, man.
Are you live streaming right now?
Orange hat.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not on you, on me. Here.
Oh,
Why? Do you not want to be on camera?
No, I'm camera shy. I don't know, I'm shy.
8, not 9.
8?
Yes.
On Monday?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's fine. Yeah.
This guy.
I want to talk to you. Is that okay? Can I talk to you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Hey, where are you going? On camera.
Right on camera?
Is it okay?
Well, what do you want to ask me?
Oh, he's good.
You know what?
Can I ask the questions?
Yeah.
You want to? Okay, listen.
You're afraid I might answer them.
I know you would.
So listen, we've transitioned. I'm gonna lead off by saying this. We've transitioned from this. I'm gonna call it a. Sorry about that, sir.
How you doing? Good. Joseph Rice. Hi.
Huh?
Joseph Rice.
Little bar next to it.
Good to meet you.
Okay. Where is it? Which one is it? Where, on Broadway?
Yeah. You know the Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
It's right next door.
Okay.
I guess a bunch of people are over there just chat.
Okay, good deal. Sure will.
It's time to stand. Strength in numbers.
Sir?
And unity.
We may do it.
No, it's so good to see you. I needed something.
I would hope it might change his position and realize that there's a community here that has a different point of view, and he probably needs to start a dialogue.
Oh, they're great people. Well, our hotel room's right next to yours.
They can't do it.
Well, I've met with him, and he wants peace. He wants a peaceful resolution, which is appropriate. But I think there's some concerns that have to be addressed with the community. And obviously, you can't have the federal government instilling fear in this community. And people have a right to assemble, people have a right to air their grievance, people have a right to exercise their free speech. And it doesn't have to be popular. It doesn't have to be things people like, but that's the spirited debate. If you're respectful about it, and you can find that middle ground and open up a dialogue, open up a discussion, you can get things done. You can move things forward. But you have to have it.
You got to hold off on the rally around the
What?
sheriff's office.
The rally around we have no issues or plans.
Did you go up there how they got it fortified?
No, I haven't been up there yet.
Oh, yeah, I drove around.
You can't get around it.
2 or 3 times.
I'll give you something to do tonight.
Yeah, they got it all blocked off and streets off, some guards standing out there. And
it's cold weather.
Oh, at the sheriff's office?
Yeah, in the courthouse.
Crazy.
You need a card?
Crazy. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Copy of your demand.
And you know what? I don't even think that comes from the sheriff's office. That's coming from above. You know, the FBI's telling him to lock it down. And I heard that they called the sheriff's department and they said that the FBI is just out of control, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
That's what they said.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got that siege mentality, you know, and it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. But the other one's good.
All right. Well, I'm going to speak with this gentleman for a minute. And
Yeah, just
just
for a quick minute.
All right. Thank you. Drive safe.
You know, we've transitioned. By the way, this is Joseph Rice, and ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Rice from Oath Keepers. That's your
I'm here as I'm with the Pacific Patriot Network.
There you go.
I'm
Fantastic.
I'm one of the founders of the Pacific Patriot Network.
Fantastic. Joseph, we have transitioned from this Hammond rally.
Yes.
It was a very successful one. Then we had this quote-unquote takeover, but now we further define it as we learn more.
I would call it
an occupation. Yes, sir. We're calling it an occupation. But we now have, and I please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm accurately describing this as a constitutional crisis.
Ooh.
A little bit of a crisis, because certain things need to be, and this is why I call it a constitutional crisis. I spoke to Ammon today.
Yes.
And there's going to be a negotiation.
Okay.
As to whether or not he, should remain there or leave. He says that in any negotiation, he's not going to compromise constitutional principles, which is pretty admirable, I think.
Well, it's any negotiation should be founded in that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's the supreme law of the land.
Right.
It's where our government's formed off of.
Yes.
Yeah, it's appropriate.
Yes. There are security considerations as well, not just for the demonstrators or the occupiers. We've got the general public who is now operating in fear. But we need to make sure that the public is protected as well.
Yes.
That nobody's going to be running around. I don't know of any patriots. I would never associate with anyone in the patriot community that would be running around intimidating people, issuing threats to the sheriff's department. I think that's all fabricated, but there are fringe elements that would do that, and we self-police, correct, in the Patriot community?
We do, and I think what's important, you brought up a couple of interesting things that need to be addressed.
Yes.
First off, it's inappropriate for anybody to threaten anybody.
Yes.
We are a nation of laws. We are a constitutional republic.
Right.
We protect the individual rights. We protect all of those rights, all of our rights, not just you or her, everybody's rights in protecting the individual right.
Right.
With that, we have freedom of speech.
Right.
You may not agree with the speech, but this is where we lose the dialogue. People have to start respecting each other, and there's a middle ground. We have watched the polarization of our Congress. We've watched the polarization of the parties, and people believe that's where they need to be. We, the people, can come together. We can have a civil, articulate discussion, and we can find the middle ground that both sides agree on.
Right.
We join in unity, we focus, and we move forward as a group, as a community.
On things that we share in common, we should focus on those items that we share in common,
absolutely.
Right? Right.
And there's things that we can do, and there's going to be debate, there's going to be discussion. It's healthy. It's how a republic grows, it's how things work.
Right.
Now, those that will act out in frustration, and they will make ridiculous statements, blood, this thing, highly inappropriate, it's
Yes.
immature,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
wrong,
I agree with
it
that.
doesn't belong here. This is a community where people live. They raise their families, they have children, they
Right.
earn their living here.
Right.
Anyone coming in here must be respectful of that.
Yes.
You would not want someone coming in your community and threatening violence
Right.
or horrific things. I mean, I would be concerned with my daughter being exposed to that.
Yes.
It's a public area. It's a small community. It's a tight-knit community. They're not used to this. And people have to understand and respect that. So when you come in here with a positive mind if you choose to do so. Right now, it's where it's at. It's not a standoff. They've occupied it. They're doing what they're doing. I don't agree with the method in which it was done. What is interesting, though, is it has started a discussion. It has started a narrative.
Okay, here's a quick recap.
Wow. Can they hear me?
They can. You know what? Can I get inside?
Yes.
Do you mind? Unlock the door. I'm freezing my petunias off. You guys stay right there. Let's do that, if you don't mind, please.
I don't mind.
Just do a
They
quick
said a while
recap.
ago they had a gray screen.
What's that?
They said they had a great picture.
When?
When it first came out, I told them it was getting ready to leave.
I'm sorry. I apologize. These steel buildings do that with the signal.
Yeah, the steel buildings are pretty tough, actually.
I don't know if we can put an end to it, but we can do our part.
A group of veterans who've been patrolling our border for years are now turning their focus on what they believe are new threats to America.
And we've all heard of the recent reports of terrorists possibly crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally.
News 4 Tucson's Domenica Fuller went down to the border to talk with that group of veterans. She shares their story, and it's new at 10.
They call themselves Arizona Border Recon.
We're not a militia. We're not a 3% group. We don't advocate overthrowing the government.
Doing what they think is best to protect the land of the brave.
It's the Wild West down here.
Home of the free.
When your friends come to your house, they go to your front door. They don't climb through your back window.
Tim Foley started the group of volunteers 5 years ago. Most are former military.
So we have the war on drugs and the war on terror, and it seems that they're combining right here on the border.
All are worried about terrorism.
Pakistanis, Afghanis, all trying to get in, Syrians trying to get in. So we're trying to stop everything and anything coming across.
Every few months they come here to patrol the Arizona-Mexico border.
Roger that.
For 7 days and 7 nights. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people, drugs, and weapons come from Mexico into this area and then into the U.S. So the Arizona Border Recon sets up a 6-mile barrier, a human barrier, to prevent that from happening, and they use night vision to help them. When night falls, the potential for an unseen threat rises.
It's not stopping. It's 24/7 down here.
These veterans, many who are now businessmen, still believe they're fighting for their country.
You don't lock your doors because you hate your people outside. Is you love what's inside.
A few centuries may have passed, but they still consider this to be American frontier, the Wild West. And while many may cross the border to have a better life, These veterans believe there are some that will come here to end life.
They're here. They're coming. Not a matter of if, it's when.
So if y'all are looking to sway us, you're wasting your time. The FBI is not our enemy. DEA, Border Patrol, ATF, local law enforcement, they are not our enemies. We will not be anti-government. We will not be anti-law enforcement. I don't give a damn how many of you don't like it. You form up in your little group, and all you badasses, you know, there's 4 guys, there's 4 people still out there at that refuge. And all you badasses that talking about, well, my American people, this, where are you? Load your shit up. There's a bunch of FBI agents out there that like to meet you, so haul your ass on out there. Stop calling out everybody else. Put some skin in the game, literally.
I want to address
Let's wrap
that.
it up, yeah.
Yeah, I want to wrap it up by saying, let me address this. Look, is there a possibility that that people have infiltrated the camp? Is there a chance of that?
Sure.
There's always a chance of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but I just don't know. Nor am I sitting at home, glued to my computer, and
that's almost an illness, by the way.
And going down this deep rabbit hole, I just don't have the time for it. Now, some of you guys out there have been on the streets before, and you know what it's like. You know what it's like to be on the ground. You know what it's like. You don't have time to do anything but cover what's happening and sleep when you can. You don't have time to look up every single minutia link to every single person here. We don't have time to do that. So stop perpetrating your ugliness. Stop it. You guys know better. Some of you guys have been on the ground and know better than that shit. You know? If there is an FBI informant in their midst, they will find out about it. They'll take care of it. You know? I don't know. I have so many people throwing stuff at me, and I just don't have time to go down that rabbit hole. And I'm sorry.
Here's a text message. You ready? And this person knows who sent this. Okay. Interesting. The big question now is, why are you not exposing those around you for what they are? Why are you not calling out blah 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 or blah 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 or blah blah blah? All for stolen valor and why you as a Marine don't care. Okay, here's the deal. Because none of these 3 people that are mentioned, okay, are at the center of this thing at all. You know, from Ryan Payne to Blaine to Buddha, okay?
Yeah.
This thing is not about them. It's not about any one of them. They're such a small part of what's going on here. We've been focused more on the community, have we not?
We are so worried about the people that live here. We're so worried about what they're going to do with these people.
Hello, it's Peter.
You know? We don't have time.
Dean Ryan, what's up, man?
We don't have time to dig into all of this crazy
You've been trying to get a hold of me on this number?
I'm sure that there may be some validity to some of it.
You are?
I don't
Okay.
know, but
I'm on the stream right now. Can I call you back in a couple minutes? Let me call. Yeah, we're finishing up a segment. Let me call you back. Okay.
I mean, I just
All right.
don't know.
You know, but here's the back to my point.
Distracting.
What we are focused on, the biggest, I would say the biggest element here on the ground is the community. Okay. Ammon Bundy and the Bundy family and what they're doing, okay, are at the center of what's going on at the refuge. The people that are around them, they're managing who is who and who isn't. Buddha, okay, has left the camp and he's gone back to provide security to the family. Who Buddha is and what he is, it doesn't even matter. He's out of it now, out of the camp, and he's gone back to handle the security for the Bundy family. The Bundys trust him in that capacity. Okay, so he's removed. The other people, from Brian Payne to Blaine Cooper, and all of these, really these YouTube investigations that are going on, okay? dig into that. Sure, absolutely, expose and do all that stuff. But guess what? It is really 3 or 4 levels out from the most important element, and that is what we've been focusing on, is understanding the dynamics in the community and the social engineering that's going on. And we've been trying to establish relationship with the individuals that are telling us about what's happening. We've really focused on knowing who the silent majority is and what they're saying, and that message is not getting conveyed. All right, now these investigations into the individuals that are at the camp are really, really irrelevant here at this point. I'm going to have to say that they're irrelevant because the camp is not going to get raided. It's not going to get raided if the community doesn't want them to get raided, if the militia doesn't want them to get raided. So if you had all of them, they were FBI informants, and they were all in that camp,
Here's
what's
what
happening
I know.
outside the camp is going to determine what's going to happen to those that are inside, right?
Right. There's always a concern, and there were times when those concerns were voiced that maybe they had been infiltrated.
Right.
You know, that happens every single time.
That possibility is so strong.
It happened in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We
Very,
heard it
very
in
strong.
Baltimore, and some of these people that are coming out and saying stuff. I mean, I fought for those people that are now putting us down. I was getting text messages about certain people that were on the ground with us, and I took up for them that they too were disinformation agents. They were there for nothing but to make money, and I took up for them, that person. I did. I took up for that person, got in many long conversations, and to have that person turn around and do this to us is, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
Do you love Blaine Cooper?
I think Blaine Cooper is an upstanding person.
I've come to know and love Blaine Cooper, and if he were a blue Smurf or whatever, I mean, to me, what I've come to know about him is I believe that he's trying to do the right thing for our country. I really do believe that. I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do. I have to stand with that. And you know what? If Blaine Cooper said, well, my name is John Doe, really, I'd say, okay, John Doe, we'll call you John Doe. But the person I know is the soul that I've gotten to know.
This is the
Blaine
second
Cooper.
time that I've met Blaine Cooper on the ground. I met him for the first time in Phoenix, and then now this. I have not seen Blaine Cooper do anything that would cause me to think that he is...
he hasn't even been inside the camp. He's been out at the front gate.
He's mostly been out at the gate.
At the front gate.
Yeah. He doesn't carry a weapon.
John Ritzheimer as well. John Ritzheimer has been probably, more influential outside of this event, online, the stuff that he's done to create, a lot of what is the word? He knows how to kick up a can of dust and make a lot of noise. He's made a lot of noise. But John Ritzheimer and what I've seen from his conduct and his spirit and what's going on inside of his soul and what's happening out in front of that camp, he's not inside either.
Yeah.
Both of those guys have received overwhelming numbers of attacks. If John Ritzheimer said, my name is actually John F. Kennedy or whatever, or Joe Smith.
Yeah.
I say, okay, Joe Smith, now we're going to call you something different. But what I've gotten to know in John Ritzheimer is the man with the soul that's putting a lot on the line for us and our country.
I thought we had a coalition of just a few people that we could trust, that weren't going to become cannibalistic, and would never do that to us. I mean, and it never ceases to absolutely boggle my mind when it happens. People come to us about certain people, and we defend them. And then people go to that person that we've trusted and say shit about us, and they defend us. That's the way it's been. We've defended one another. And to have it not happen and have somebody that you trusted come against you and say horrible things about you. And, you know, I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say, but I can tell you this. We are the ones here on the ground in Oregon, freezing every night, freezing every day, trying to keep a balance, trying to keep ourselves out of jail, but yet being very aggressive at getting the word out, worried to death about those people on the inside dying. It would be a horrible thing to have happen. Worried about our country and seeing what is happening here in this town spread across our nation. And then we have to sit down when we finally are able to catch a breath. And what do we see? What do we see, you guys? We see people we thought we could trust out there just eating us alive. Eating us alive. I want to put out a message to you guys. If you don't like the way we're doing it and the way we're handling it, and you want to expose people here on the ground, then get in your car or come up off of some of your money and get a plane ticket and get your asses here and expose the fuck out of them. That's what I have to say. And if you can't do that, then keep your fucking mouth shut. Come here and do it yourself.
Our country is also suffering from that detachment that human beings have through the internet of reality. We're also suffering. Okay, and not everyone can be here. Okay, and I understand that, but you also need to recognize that when you detach yourself from the humanity side of this thing, okay, you can't get a full grasp on what's happening. You really can't. And like I said before, all of the rumors. I do trust in this one thing, is that no matter what, as far as tactics, strategy, all that stuff, there was a mistake that was made there. There was. It's taken over, you know, that facility and the public perception and stuff like that. I understand.
I never agreed with it.
No, we never agreed with it. But guess what? I do trust that Ammon Bundy and Ryan Bundy are not going to do the wrong thing in the end. That they're going to make the right decision in the end. I do believe that.
If you guys could all be here and you could see the seriousness of this.
Yeah.
If you could just feel it, the tension in the air.
Yeah.
The unknowing about what this government is going to do next. If you could just be here and feel it. And I know some of you have the wherewithal to do that. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. You don't want to be here because you would rather sit at home and just
find your little angle and get YouTube clicks.
And dig and dig and dig.
Right.
You know what? You can find anything on the internet to discredit somebody. You can even seriously make up some shit. You know?
Yeah. So anyways, we're trying our absolute darndest. I think we've got a great connection with the local community, not just through the stream and through, you know, how people are getting to know us here in the local community through the stream. Fortunately, we're able to do that. We're able to connect with this local community. But we're also getting to meet these people in person. We're walking down the street. We're walking into businesses. We walked into a business today. Somebody from the local community said, we're going to pick up your stream. Walked right in and did that. And we shook hands with them. We thanked them. They weren't trying to infiltrate us. You know, they were trying to help us out. They believed that we're doing an important job here to try to tell the truth about what the community's interests are, what their real feelings are. Our focus has been in that regard. If that entire camp was chock full of FBI informants, okay, and they're all surrounding the Bundys are going to say, guess what? If we have to stand here by ourselves, we're going to stand on constitutional principles, right? And everyone around us could be FBI informants. It doesn't matter. We're going to enforce We're going to
Why
enforce.
is that everybody's favorite thing to do to other people?
Because that comes from
Why?
the FBI. Because the FBI knows that that's what they can do to discredit people, is to call them FBI informants.
I don't understand.
I don't know where it comes from.
really, seriously, I do not understand.
Blaine Cooper could be an FBI informant. John Ritzheimer, an FBI informant. All those people,
Brian
FBI
Payne
informants.
could be an FBI
Everybody's
informant.
an FBI informant.
If somebody could have
Yes,
stolen
that's right.
valor.
He's an FBI informant. Yes.
You know, seriously.
They are the smallest element here in resolving this constitutional crisis. That Ammon Bundy, in the end, if he says, okay, we will walk out the door, but we will only do so if we're not compromising constitutional principles, then it's a good day for the United States of America. Okay, so that's what we're shooting for. It's only going to happen with the support of the local community. I think that tide is turning in that regard. Okay, and you guys need to know this, that the least credible people, okay, in this effort to convey the truth, the least credible people, unless you're getting it from, getting direct information from the field and conveying facts, going by internet rumors is not the best source of information, okay? So we're going to conclude this broadcast, and we need to take care of some business here. We thank you very much for tuning in. We need your support, as always. It costs us thousands and thousands of dollars to do this. You guys need to know that. We've extended our stay with our rental vehicle. We've extended our stay with the hotels. We've extended our stay with the streams, all the way around, meals, so on and so forth. Please help support us. Go to thePeteSantilliShow.com /donate and help us continue promoting this message to the best of our ability of what's truly going on here on the ground. We love especially the people that we're meeting with and interacting with on the ground. Human interaction is the most comforting side of this thing for me.
And you know what they say, what they're saying here, the locals are saying it, and I know that many of them are tuned in, and I'm almost embarrassed because we even have to talk about this, really, but they're dealing with the same thing.
They are.
They're dealing with Facebook, they're dealing with YouTube,
Twitter.
They're dealing with Twitter, and all of these crazy, messed up rumors that are being, you guys wouldn't believe some of the things that are being said in this community. And they're just, it is so, I told them, I said, you know what, the most horrible thing in the world is to be on the internet and watch this exact same thing happen, where everybody's just gossip, and just eating each other alive, and just can't. It's so nasty. It's such a nasty.
It keeps the people.
Business.
It keeps the people who should truly feel empowered to resolve this. Keeps those people back on their heels and off kilter. That's exactly what it's intended to do.
Yeah.
It's working, so let's just push through it as a people, okay? All right, you guys, we're gonna log off the stream, and please continue to stay engaged in the 24/7 stream. Gotta go. Bye.
The dead have been covered with lime. The dead know only one thing. It is better to be alive. Excuse me. Good morning, Lieutenant.
Morning.
I make it 20. Is that the official body count, sir?
What outfit are you man with?
Sir, we're reporters from Stars and Stripes.
Oh, I see.
I'm Sergeant Joker, and this photographer's Rafter Man.
I'm Lieutenant Cleves. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut.
Have you got a body count, sir?
We think it's 20.
Do you know how it happened, sir?
Well, it seems the NBA came in with a list of gook names. Government officials, policemen, Harvard officers, school teachers. They went around their houses real polite and asked them to report the next day for political re-education. Everybody turned up got shot. Some they buried alive.
Right.
Colonel?
Marine, what is that button on your body armor?
A peace symbol, sir.
Where'd you get it?
I don't remember, sir.
What is that you've got written on your helmet?
Born to kill, sir.
You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What's that supposed to be, some kind of sick joke?
No, sir.
What is it supposed to mean?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know very much, do you?
No, sir.
You better get your head and your ass wired together or I will take a giant shit on you.
Yes, sir.
Now answer my question or you'll be standing tall before the man.
I think I was trying to suggest something about the duality of man, sir.
The what?
The duality of man, the Jungian thing, sir.
Whose side are you on, son?
Our side, sir.
Don't you love your country?
Yes, sir.
Then how about getting with the program? Why don't you jump on the team and come on in for the big win?
Yes, sir.
Son, all I've ever asked of my Marines is for them to obey my orders as they would the word of God. We are here to help the Vietnamese because inside every gook there is an American trying to get out. It's a hardball world, son. We've got to try to keep our heads until this peace craze blows over.
Aye, aye, sir.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a light and the light that you shine can't be seen? I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a light and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Can you tell us a little bit about this event here today?
I'm here for LaVoy Finicum, and I'm nervous. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm so nervous.
You're live.
Anyway, I'm here for LaVoy Finicum.
And how long have you been aware of this whole situation going on with Burns, Oregon?
I was watching TV, and a report from the FBI came out about a man.
It's okay.
What, tell her to continue, please.
Where was from the FBI video. So I'm new to all of this.
There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can feel you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.